Hi, today we are going to talk about the Wendigo, and I'm recording this video for the third time, so I believe that it's cursed, and if a Wendigo comes out of your screen, I'm terribly sorry. With that in mind, let's talk about this creature anyway. Wendigo is best known for eating people. Yes, it's a cannibal, and it comes from legends told by indigenous people that live in Northern America. But being a cannibal isn't the most eerie thing about this creature, because you see, Wendigo used to be a human, but it got transformed, or as some believe, possessed. There are three most common ways to become a Wendigo. The first one is the most disgusting, but it's also the simplest one. According to some beliefs, in order to turn into a Wendigo, a person has to eat human flesh. Gross, right? But we all know that there are still cannibals out there. The second method is less disgusting, but it's beyond our control. Some believe that to turn into a Wendigo, a person has to dream about this creature. Most people don't remember their dreams, so they may not even know that they got transformed during their sleep. The third method is also beyond our control because it has to do with a state of mind. People who are in a bad mental place or are going through a tough times are at risk of becoming a Wendigo. Some cultures state that this transformation may be caused by spiritual imbalance or even selfishness. Once someone turns into a Wendigo, they may undergo a physical transformation. They didn't have to because some believe that a Wendigo may look like a regular person. But if someone does transform, he or she will be really hard to miss. They will turn into a giant humanoid with a heart of ice, though you probably won't notice this particular feature at the first glance. What you may notice is the smell. Legend has it that Wendigo stinks horribly, like rotten meat, decomposing body, and other pleasant things. If Wendigo is close by, you will notice not only the smell, but also you will feel a chill through your body because it's believed that this chilling experience is a sign of Wendigo presence. If you look at Wendigo, it won't be a pleasant experience. This creature is extremely tall and also very skinny. Its skin is sickly looking, covered with bruises, and grayish. Also, its lips are often bitten and tattered. Descriptions of this creature vary. Some believe that it's hairy and covered with fur. Others believe that it's bald and totally hairless. In some accounts, this being has pushed back eyes or red glowing eyes. Others say that it has horns like a devil, or antlers like a deer, or even pointed ears like an elf. It may have long, sharp teeth and also long, sharp claws. But the only thing that seems to be consistent in these descriptions is that this creature is always tall and skinny. Although Wendigo may look weird, don't be fooled by its appearance because this creature is extremely fast, agile, and strong. It has also one unique ability. It can mimic voices, human voices, and this creature uses this skill to lure unsuspecting victims into the wilderness. Why does this creature lure its victims into the wilderness? Well, to eat them, because Wendigo is always hungry and its hunger can't be satisfied. It's believed that if a Wendigo eats a person, it grows in proportion to its meal, so it can never be full. Even though Wendigo sounds like a wild monster, it doesn't mean that it has lost all of human abilities, like for example the ability to speak. There is this story about a giant Wendigo where this creature seems to be kinda talkative, so let's hear this story now. There was a giant Wendigo who once stole a boy. The boy was really skinny, so Wendigo decided not to eat him right away, but to wait for him to get fat. Wendigo kept the boy and they were traveling together. From time to time, Wendigo took out the knife and cut the boy to check out if the boy was getting fatter. But he wasn't, because they were walking all the time. One day Wendigo was tired and bored and probably annoyed and hungry, so he sent the boy to the village and told him to get some food. The boy took the chance. He went to the village and he told the villagers about everything. He even showed them his wounds and told them about how Wendigo was cutting him to check out his fat levels. When the boy didn't come back, the Wendigo realized that something wasn't right. It called out for the boy and told him to hurry up and not to lie to the villagers. But the villagers weren't stupid. They followed the voice and they found the Wendigo. They cut out its legs and they went back to the village. They left the Wendigo there to die. Later they came back to check out if the creature died. But it didn't. It was busy though, because it was sucking out the bone marrow from its severed legs. Villagers were intrigued, so they asked the Wendigo if there was any fat on its legs, because Wendigo was skinny, as Wendigo usually is. But Wendigo told them that it had eaten many people, so of course its legs are full of fat. After satisfying their curiosity, the villagers decided to cut Wendigo into small pieces and the beast finally died. Apparently slicing and dicing always works. They should do that in horror movies too. But let's get back to our topic and talk some more about the roots of Wendigo. The legend of Wendigo is rooted in folklore in various indigenous tribes in North America, particularly those who share the same language group, the Algonquian language group. This creature appears in legends told by Native Americans, especially the Ojibwe, Sultanas, Kapi, Cree, and Innu, and I'm terribly sorry because I probably butchered all the names. But speaking of names, I have to mention that this creature has a lot of names. You will see them now on the screens. Most of them begin with the letter W, but not all of them. Anyway, there was a reconstruction of the Proto-Algonquian term that was used to describe or name the Wendigo. It was reconstructed to Wintekoa, which meant or may have meant the owl. I don't know what Wendigo and owls have in common, but now I'm a little bit more suspicious of owls. But let's talk some more about the legend of Wendigo. This story about Wendigo is deeply rooted in nature. Communities that share this legend experience long, harsh winters. Extreme temperatures and heavy snowfalls led to lack of resources and starvation. Sharing food was the only way to survive. But Wendigo thrives during winters. It uses blizzards to travel and it waits for a person to get lost in the snow. As I mentioned before, there are signs that may warn you if Wendigo is near. Remember about this awful smell and the chills. So if you feel a sudden chill in the forest, run and run fast. Probably the only person that can get rid of Wendigo is the shaman. They used iron, steel or silver bullets or a dagger. Of course, everything goes straight to Wendigo's heart. But sometimes it's believed that the heart has to be cut out and then melted and burned. Why? Because it's the only way to get rid of Wendigo's spirit. Now let's talk a little bit about the history of Wendigo. The first known written mention about the Wendigo comes from Paul Lejeune, a French Jesuit who wrote about a Wendigo in 1636. He lived among the Algonquian people, and he described a woman who came to the village to warn others about a Wendigo who had eaten several people. I don't know what happened next. I hope the Wendigo was hunted down and killed, but I don't know. But a few instances of cannibalism and murder in Northern America were blamed on Wendigo. There was this case in Alberta in 1879 where the trapper and hunter Swift Runner was accused of murdering and eating his family. But he claimed that he didn't do it. He just was possessed by Wendigo and he didn't know what he was doing. The Wendigo defense didn't work and he was prosecuted and then executed, Another case occurred in 1907 in Sandy Lake First Nation community in Ontario. The tribal shaman Jack Fiddler and his brother Joseph were accused of killing Joseph's daughter-in-law. They strangled this poor lady because they believed that she was going to be possessed by a Wendigo. After the brothers' arrest, Jack managed to escape the police and he hanged himself. His brother died in prison 2 years later due to tuberculosis. Now it's a good time to talk a little bit about something called the Wendigo psychosis. It's a term used by missionaries and psychologists to describe culture-bound syndrome among Native and First Nation people. The symptoms included delusions of being possessed by an evil spirit, depression, violence, compulsion for human flesh, and sometimes even cannibalism. This syndrome was also diagnosed in some historical cases of cannibalism in North America, although some scientists dispute the syndrome's existence. Although the 10th revision of International Statistical Classification of Diseases and Related Health Problems classifies Wendigo as culture-specific disorder, and they described it like this. Rare historic accounts of cannibalistic obsession. Symptoms included depression, homicidal or suicidal thoughts, and a delusional compulsive wish to eat human flesh. Some controversial new studies question the syndrome's legitimacy, claiming cases were actually a product of hostile accusations invented to justify the victim's ostracism or execution. The tale of Wendigo inspired many artists. The creature appears in Stephen King's Pet Sematary, in Marvel Comics, in the game Fallout 76, in the TV series Supernatural, and many more. Is it real though? Well, it may be. There are many unexplained things in the world, especially deep in the forest. Who knows what lurks in the darkness? So be careful and trust your instincts. As always, thank you for being here. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. Have a nice day. Bye!